What's going on? Welcome to Best of TVs for 2021. Buying a TV isn't that easy, right? There's all these different tiers, all these different letter combinations. You've got OLED, LED. There's a lot to take into account, and that's why today we're talking to David Katzmaier. He's CNET's TV expert, and we're going to go through this categorically. We're talking budget, form factor, best remote, because who doesn't love a good remote, and a few other categories. Ultimately, we're going to talk about the editor's choice. So here it is. All right. Hey, David. Thanks for talking today.
Anytime, Justin. Good to be here.
All right. Let's start with 2021. What did this year bring us with TVs?
So 2021 was a strange year, much like 2020, we all remember. But with TVs, what people did this year is they really heavily invested in their home entertainment setups. So last year we saw a lot of budget TVs sold, and people just like kind of randomly picking up a TV because they realized they didn't have enough for a whole family staying at home. In 2021, people invested in better TVs, so larger screen sizes. They stepped up in image quality. The average TV selling price this year went up for the first time in 9 years, which is crazy because you always think a TV is getting cheaper and cheaper. But what that reflected was people buying these larger, more expensive TVs, really investing in their home entertainment setups.
So speaking of prices going up, if someone's looking for a budget TV, what would be the one that you recommend?
So our favorite budget TV is the TCL 4 series. So this is a Roku TV, and that means that it has Roku's built-in smart TV system. The reason we like it is because A, it's dirt cheap, comes in a size from 43 up to 85 inches, some of the most competitive prices at those sizes, but it's really about having that built-in smart TV system so you don't have to plug in another device, pay extra for a Roku or a Fire Stick or whatever. You just have that all in one place, one remote control, make it super easy to use those streaming apps.
So speaking of operating systems, if you had to choose the best operating system or perhaps like the best features added in 2021, what would that be?
We really like Roku. That's kind of my go-to answer for that question. But interestingly, this year, there's a new competitor that has kind of added a lot of those extra features you're talking about and really kind of upped the game, and that's Google TV. So Sony has Google TVs. You can buy a Chromecast with Google TV in it. And we really love the addition of Google Assistant. It's a much more compelling voice option than is available on a Roku. But, that's for kind of advanced users, honestly. Like, there's a lot more going on with the menu system, for example, a lot more stuff to keep track of on there. It tracks your viewing habits, which can be good or bad, depending. And, there's profiles on it. There's a lot more to it than Roku. So if you just want that plain, simple, reliable, dependable, operating system, we recommend Roku.
Yeah, and on the Google operating system, like me, I have a smart home, and I found it to be really helpful in that situation. So perhaps for people with smart homes, that could be a good option if Google Assistant is, what they're using. Now, best picture. This is important when it comes to TVs. What TV would you say has the ultimate picture this year?
Yeah, so the best picture we tested this year was an OLED TV. No surprise to anybody who's been following the TV space here. This is organic, light-emitting diode TVs, super duper thin, really expensive, but the thing I like about it is the picture. It has the deepest black levels, best contrast. The LG C1 is my pick. Best TV I've ever tested, frankly. They upped their game again this year, very slightly, but it's brighter. Off angle is incredible, excellent color. It really does hit all the notes, and it's available in more sizes this year than ever. So they have a 48-inch size this year. You can go up to 83 inches, which is crazy expensive, if you can afford it. But again, this TV is more expensive than standard LCD TVs, but if you have the money, and it's not that bad. It's like $1,300 right now for the 55-inch size, so it's still somewhat affordable.
So I have an LG, and one thing I really love about mine is the remote. Would you say there's any remote that sticks out to you this year?
So I really like LG's remote too. It's got kind of that Wii, thing, Nintendo Wii, where it follows the cursor around on the screen. Although I got to say Samsung's remotes are my favorite this year. So they're really, really simple and yet capable. You can do voice with them like we were talking about before. Samsung this year added Alexa and Google Assistant to its TVs and kind of denigrated Bixby, which, you know, good on them. But the remote itself is just really simple to hold, ergonomic, and it's kind of a gimmick, but I kind of love it at the same time. You flip it over, there's a solar panel on the back, and you can actually recharge the remote with interior lighting, so you don't have to worry about the batteries. Of course, the batteries last forever on these things, you know, without backlighting, but long story short, I really like that Samsung remote.
Now, form factor. TVs are pretty standard. They're pretty similar. Was there any TV that stuck out with its build?
So talking about form factor, the best looking TV when it's off, in my opinion, is an LG OLED. Again, that TV has the super thin, seen from the side, it's almost like it's thinner than a pencil, and you know you can put it on the wall. They have a version of it that's super duper thin when you hang it on the wall that doesn't stick out at all. They call it the Gallery series. Again, more expensive than the standard one, but you know, if you really want your design to be as minimalist as possible, and that's me, I just want all picture. There's almost nothing around the edges. You know, it's just a very, very thin bezel, and you know, combined with that thin profile, it's just a beautiful TV and allows you to just focus on the picture.
So with all of these categories taken into account, what would you say is the editor's choice TV of 2021?
So the editor's choice this year has the best picture quality and the best design. No surprise, it's the LG C1 OLED TV. It really is great. You know, it's the only editor's choice that I gave this year. We have a TV that's the best for the money. We really like the TCL 6 series. But, you know, again, it's a few $100s less than the LG, and I think you should just save up. You know, you're going to have a TV for a long time. The prices actually are more attractive than they've ever been, and, you know, it's something you're just going to watch hours and hours, and you're just going to appreciate it no matter what you're doing, gaming, movies, TV shows, what have you. It just looks spectacular. It also happens to be my favorite gaming TV and has all the extra features that you want if you're hooking up a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. So it really is the kind of best of all worlds, the LG C1.
Well, thank you so much, David, and thank you for watching today. If you want to learn more about these TVs, be sure to check those links down in the article. I'm Justin for CNET, and I'll tech you later.